Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to really get into the details of things you're curious about.
Yep.
And this time, you pointed us towards something pretty cool, the Ox Talisman from Jackie Chan Adventures.
That's right. And we spent some time digging through the Jackie Chan Adventures wiki. It's actually got a ton of info.
It really does. So we're going to pull out the most interesting bits for you.
Okay, so let's set the scene a bit. The Ock Talisman. So those 12 talismans, right? From Shendu.
Exactly. Shendu, the big bad dragon demon, got turned into a statue, and his powers got split up into these 12 artifacts.
And the Ox Talisman is the one that holds his superhuman strength.
Right. Now, you might hear super strength and think, okay, simple enough, but stick with us.
Yeah, because this deep dive is going to uncover some, well, surprising details about how it all works. It's not quite as straightforward as you might expect.
Let's jump right in. Where did this thing even come from? How did that strength get locked away?
Okay, so the origin story,
Mm-hmm.
it goes back to Lo Pei. He's the one who fought Shendu originally.
Right, the ancient warrior.
Exactly. So when Lo Pei managed to defeat Shendu and perform the spell to turn him into that statue,
That's when the powers were separated.
that's what the wiki says, yeah.
Yeah.
The power of super strength was pulled out and sealed into the object we now know as the Ox Talisman. Just one piece of Shendu's overall power.
Wow. So the fragment of a demon dragon's might just sitting in this little stone thing.
Pretty much. And then how it reappeared in the modern world is another interesting bit.
Oh, yeah, the discovery part. It wasn't just lying in a ditch somewhere.
No, not at all. The wiki points to El Toro Fuerte finding it.
El Toro, the luchador.
The one and only. And get this, he found it inside a Mayan pyramid.
No way.
Yep, down in Mexico. Talk about finding a powerful artifact in an epic location.
That's amazing. A wrestler finds ancient dragon magic in a pyramid. You can't make this stuff up.
Adds a certain flair, doesn't it? So, okay, it grants superhuman strength. What does
Yeah.
that actually mean in the show?
Well, superhuman barely covers it sometimes. The examples are kind of nuts.
Like what?
Like, users effortlessly picking up stuff that weighs multiple tons. With one arm, even.
Okay, yeah. That's serious power.
And not just lifting, but throwing these massive objects, sending huge opponents flying backwards with just like a push.
The wiki also mentions some pretty intense destructive feats too, right?
Oh, yeah. Demolishing buildings, apparently slicing mountains, which sounds a bit extreme, but okay. And poking holes clean through walls with just a finger.
The finger. Okay, so the power level is immense. Almost hard to picture properly.
It really is, but, and this is important, the wiki suggests it's not infinite strength.
Ah, right. There seems to be a limit.
Yeah, it seems someone using the talisman can still be overpowered if they come up against something or someone even stronger. It's not like an automatic win button against everything.
That makes sense. And Shendu himself kind of reinforces that idea, doesn't he?
He does. He has that line, something like, even with the Ox Talisman, a human like Jackie is still weak compared to him.
Right. So it grants incredible power, way beyond human normal. But there are still bigger fish or bigger dragons in that pond. It puts the power in perspective.
Definitely. So when do we actually first see this thing show up in the series?
Let's see. The wiki pins it down to Season 1, Episode 3. The title gives it away. The Mask of El Toro Fuerte.
Makes sense. That's where El Toro finds it and starts using it.
Exactly. He's the first human, as far as we know from the show, to wield it.
And Jackie gets it from him eventually, right? From his mask.
Yeah, it was apparently embedded in the mask, which is, a strong aesthetic choice.
Gotta commit to the theme.
Totally. And what's interesting is how often Jackie ends up using it.
Oh, yeah.
The wiki highlights that he relies on it a lot, specifically when he's up against enemies who are just physically much bigger or stronger than him.
That tracks. If you need to punch way above your weight class, literally.
Ox Talisman time. Need to move a giant boulder. Ox Talisman. Fighting some huge magical beast. Ox Talisman. It's the go-to for brute force problems.
Makes perfect sense. But the talismans don't stick around forever in that form, do they?
Right. Fast forward a bit.
Yeah.
There's a big event. The Powers Unleashed.
Ah, the laser beam incident?
That's the one. Jackie decides the talismans are too dangerous, basically, and blasts them. Destroys them.
And the powers.
They don't just vanish. According to the wiki, they return to their original animal hosts from the Zodiac.
So the ox power went back to a yak.
Apparently so. The power of super strength found its way back to the yak. Imagine a super strong yak wandering around.
Okay, that's a mental image. But let's talk trivia, because the wiki had some really weird, interesting notes here.
Yes, this is where it gets properly intriguing. The first big surprise is about how the strength actually manifests.
Go on.
it seems.
Hmm.
Well, it seems the amount of strength granted isn't really proportional to the user's own starting strength.
Wait, what? So it doesn't matter if you're already strong or not?
Pretty much. The wiki gives examples. El Toro, who's obviously very strong to begin with, Jackie, who's agile but not a powerhouse, young Jade, even villains like Chow and Finn.
And Uncle. And Captain Black, they used it too.
Yeah, on occasion. And the point is, they all seem to display roughly the same level of super strength when holding it.
Huh. So it's not like multiplying your existing strength.
Doesn't seem like it. It's more like it just grants a set, incredibly high level of strength. The wiki even suggests this level is sort of comparable to Shendu's base strength, without any talismans.
So it brings everyone up to that same benchmark, like a strength equalizer.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, an equalizer, which is not what you'd intuitively expect from a super strength power-up. Usually you think it boosts what's already there.
That is really weird. It completely flips the script on how you'd think that magic works.
Right, and then there's that other weird thing with Jade.
Oh, yeah, the muscle thing.
Yes, in the episode The Amazing Tea Troop, when Jade uses the Ox Talisman, she temporarily gets huge muscles.
Yeah.
Like bodybuilder physique.
Which didn't happen to anyone else.
Nope. The wiki specifically calls it out as a unique occurrence. Never happened with Jackie, El Toro, Uncle, nobody else. Just Jade, just that one time.
That's bizarre. Maybe it reacted weirdly with her age or something. Or maybe it was just a one-off magical glitch.
Who knows? It just adds this layer of, like, unpredictability. Even this established magic item can sometimes do something completely unexpected.
Keeps you on your toes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And one last point the wiki brings up, just for context.
Okay.
The Ox Talisman isn't the only thing in the Jackie Chan Adventures universe that grants super strength.
Ah, right. There are other artifacts.
Yeah. Things like the armor of the Eight Immortals and also the Oni masks are mentioned as granting significant physical power boosts, too.
So while the Ox Talisman is maybe the most focused strength artifact, that kind of power isn't unique to it in that world.
Exactly. It exists within a broader context of magical items and power sources. Super strength is a known quantity, achievable through different means.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. Our deep dive into the Ox Talisman shows it gives this massive but weirdly uniform level of super strength.
Right, a power born when Shendu got turned into a statue, later found by a luchador in a Mayan pyramid.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
And while it's incredibly powerful, it does have limits, and apparently it can sometimes throw curveballs, like instant muscles for Jade.
Exactly. It seems simple on the surface, super strength.
Yeah.
But the details are actually quite fascinating and, frankly, a bit strange when you look closely.
For sure. So here's something to chew on after this. If the Ox Talisman gives pretty much everyone the same level of immense strength, regardless of who they are, what does that say about the magic itself? Could it be tapping into some kind of, I don't know, baseline potential, a universal reservoir of strength that anyone can access if they have the key, which is the talisman? Does it hint that maybe on some fundamental level, everyone in that universe has the potential for that same power?
That's a heavy thought. Does the magic just unlock something latent or impose a template? Yeah, definitely something to ponder.